All right, so right now people are probably watching an ad, but it's, if you're curious, it's for Bud Light Seltzer. And so we have that. So welcome everyone. Thanks for tuning in to No Pants Improv. So No Pants performers. We have a guest on this, Andy McIntyre, as well. We're going to be doing Andy's from an improviser and teacher in Baltimore and a friend. And we're going to do a Herald, which is a well-known long-form improv format. I'm going to go ahead and we'll go ahead before we introduce the cast. I'm going to go ahead and just share quickly here what we're doing on it. So we're going to do a Herald. It for those who are watching, looks like that. And before I introduce the cast, we're going to get a suggestion of a word. Our word suggestion is going to be heal. I feel like it could go a lot of different directions. So heal is going to be the suggestion that we have getting going. And with that, if their cast could go ahead and join me on screen. Hi, everybody. We are the No Pants Improv and Guests to present a Herald of the Heal. We don't know how long it's going to last. Typically, it's 20 to 35 minutes, somewhere in there. But thank you for staying with us for as long as it goes. Enjoy talking with yourselves in the audience, and everyone in the cast, break a leg. Our suggestion for this Herald is the Herald of Heal.
When I go to the podiatrist's office, I feel nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I always feel a little bad when I go to the podiatrist's office because my feet look scary. I had surgery on one of them, and so I was just like, what the hell happened to you? I don't know. They're feet. I wear shoes, so you don't have to look at them, except you get paid to look at them. So here they are. That's what going to the podiatrist makes me feel like a little sorry.
I'm always worried that the doctors are going to recoil in terror from my hideous, malformed feet. Just when I take a sneaker off and the foot just kind of oozes out in its misshapen, genetically abnormal form, that the doctors are just going to take one look at me and consign me to a nuclear test facility for the rest of my life because that's where I belong.
That's where I belong. It's like something weird. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I don't know that it's weird. I mean, everyone has their feet in shoes and stuff, so you never know. It's like, are my feet weird? But I'm pretty sure they're weird. They feel weird. But the thing is, you don't know because everyone's hiding their feet, and yeah, I'm like, I'm hiding my feet, and I just feel like.
But the podiatrist gives me looks, and I feel like doctors are supposed to have this poker face. My podiatrist, I go there regularly because my feet are just a hot mess, and.
Just show me a diagram of a perfect foot, okay? Just show me something. Map it out for me because I have no idea. I know mine isn't right, but what is?
What is?
What is?
What is?
Pro wrestling just gets me so freaking excited. Just being there in person. Oh man, it just gets me pumped up.
Ooh, I get into that amphitheater and I just like the smells invigorate me. It's like butter, popcorn, sweat, and fusty feet. And I'm like,
I almost sometimes can't even say words because I'm so excited. I'm just so wanting to be there and see the push.
That's why I carry a sign. It's easier. I can just wave it around in the height of emotion, and if it's a good sign or I'm extra excited, sometimes bonus I get on television. Costumes help with that too, by the way.
It's always been my dream to elevate that position from being on TV into a real wrestling job someday. It's just that primal instinct that surges through me every time I see hot, sweaty bodies just like wrestling with each other out on that mat. It makes me think that is my destiny. That is my purpose in life.
Purpose in life. That's what I'm born for. And I just know I'm going to get there. And they're going to be like, show me your qualifications. If you ever failed in a job, how did you succeed? And I know I would have to rip my shirt right the hell off and just show this is me. All right. And just like, yeah, just this is me. Because ultimately it's about how psyched I am and that I'm willing to be vulnerable and show how much I goddamn care. Yeah.
This is me.
Yeah.
This is me.
This is me.
This playground is overwhelming to me. I am overwhelmed by all these other children.
There's many children here. I count 8 or 10,
Yeah.
and there's one in the tunnel that's making noises and picking at scabs and throwing the scabs outside of the tunnel, which I don't really like because I could get hit by a scab, and that would be germy, which I don't.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't. I choose to stay here on the perimeter of the playground where it's safe. I can practice some balancing skills, maybe on the edge. It's quite nice, and just feel the outdoors. It's really enough. The other children generally want to be, closer to the toys and things. And I feel like this is, I get to experience childhood, but at a remove. It's safer that way.
So much safer. The other children are incredibly unhygienic. I saw Susan Perkins just reach down and take an entire glob of dirt, place it in her mouth. Does she have E. coli now? I don't know. But I bet her mother doesn't either because her mother wasn't even watching. I feel like I'm the only responsible one around here.
And it's a lot of weight to put on someone, but I stand at the side for the common good. There's so much that we don't know, and to just move forward without knowing, that's just reckless. And I wouldn't want to be like that.
I wouldn't want to be like that at all. I mean, my trepidation is a virtue. I'm being safe because everyone else is being dangerous. And yeah, I'm only 8, but this is a lot of responsibility thrust upon me, but I'll rise to the challenge if I have to. I'll show people the way if that's what really happens. But man, they could just be cleaner and safer, and that would make everyone happier.
That's prudent. Welcome to Delta Flight 35. Andrew and I will be your cabin attendants. We just have a brief safety announcement that we wish to make before the aircraft, I don't want to alarm you, launches into the air.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody keeping really calm with that, because that is usually a big thing. We are normally bound by Earth's gravity, but in 10 to 15 minutes, we will be leaving the ground and quite frankly, defying nature and physics. And, that gravity could kick back in. And then we'd be in real trouble. So I just want to make sure that all of you wonderful Delta Premium Plus customers are aware of the risks inherent with boarding this aircraft.
And we want you to know that if past is any indication, that it will be a safe and eventless flight. Of course, that's what we all hope for things, but it doesn't always work out that way. And we just want to prepare. We just want you to prepare you in the very unlikely event that things go wrong.
A very common fallacy is the fallacy of the streak, where if things are going in a certain direction, they will continue to move in that direction. There are some rules like inertia, where an object in motion tends to stay in motion. But, I know we're flying to Las Vegas, and this is also a tip for gambling, that just because you're winning doesn't mean you'll continue to win. Just like this has been a safe flight, doesn't mean that this flight will be safe, even though previous flights have also been safe.
Just because the sun keeps rising and has risen all over again might seem like, we have a constant trend. But think of the dinosaurs who were just merrily going along with the sun coming up every day and not having large meteorites flinging to the ground, because I might add about the constant scourge of gravity and the fact that the Earth is constantly trying to pull us closer. And the further we get away, the more she pulls us violently towards her bosom.
And it's been a good minute since meteors have struck the Earth. So that is just another thing that we want to make sure that you, our Delta Premium Plus customers, are aware of, that there may be a meteor attack, an asteroid, if you will. And should that happen, should our Earth's gravity, which is an unbelievably strong force, strong enough to hold a moon in orbit, like, that's a significant thing. That's nothing to sneeze at. What if it pulled something else then?
If one day the moon finally gives out and just hurls gradually, and if it were to land, crushing into flight, masks would possibly fall.
They would come.
All right, Venom Girl. I've got my blue shiny tights, and I've got my hair puff, and I've got my sequined claws.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go, I think, to the fight.
Are you quite certain that you have really everything it takes to be a wrestler? I feel that, you've got the accoutrement, but do you have, the internal mindset of a champion,
I do think so. I've got the fire. I've got fire in my belly, and now especially that I've got the claws, the sequined claws.
You do look great, Edwina. But
the heart out of my opponent.
Edwina, I am frightfully sorry to have to do this, but I am, as your biggest supporter and sister, also quite worried, and I will challenge you. I will challenge you to a fight right here and now, so that you might prove to me that you are ready to battle in the ring.
Cecilia, I'm ready for your challenge, and I will start with a carefully placed rake of my claws across your cheek. I'm sorry, this might get a little bit bloody. Are you ready for it?
Yes, I'm quite ready.
All right, here I go. Rake!
Oh, well executed, Edwina. Very well done. Now I shall counter, as is only proper.
Yes.
With a mailed fist directly uppercutting from my right to the left of your chin. Now, do prepare yourself and still yourself.
I'm ready.
I am begging 1,000 pardons for this gross.
Please.
Okay.
Ah! Oh, yes, that was very well done. Really, really an excellent strike. All right, I have one more. I'm going to take this large ball of concrete.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing it around my head, and I'm going to drop it on your head.
Yes.
There is a metal spike coming out of the top.
Might I quickly entreat you just to note, please, dear reader, that as you continue to prepare yourself to deliver that crushing blow, I would like to remind you that I have slept with your loved one and am unrepentant about it, and also slept with another person of your that you care about very much, and am unrepentant about that as well.
Cecilia, is that all true?
No, I am merely echoing the tones of the show. You must prepare psychologically as well.
I have to be I have to be angered. Must feel fury. Fury. All right. I feel so much fury, for you have slept with all of my loved ones. And
That's
here
right.
I go.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, oh, very well delivered indeed. I shall now slip into a coma.
Scene.
Well, it's nothing to worry about. I can tell you that. I mean,
But most people only have one, and I have 7.
I understand. You know,
It's an unusual number of spleens.
well, I think it's really just kind of a fascinating evolutionary advantage. I mean, you have noticed that you can run quite a good bit farther than everyone else.
Yes, because of my extra foot, I can sort of leave it for later
Right.
on in the running, so that when the other 2 are tired, I can just sort of hop along on the 3rd one,
Yeah.
without any of that like acid buildup that makes your muscles tired.
Right, exactly. And you know, I'm sure that though it may feel as though people are looking at you, that well, I imagine that they don't have much time since you're moving so quickly.
Well, I suppose that is a positive way to look at it. It's just sometimes I wonder, Dad, why did you conceive me inside of that nuclear reactor?
Well, son, that was it's something you'll understand when you're older, I think. But there's something about the
I'm 14. I've had the classes at school. I'm aware of how, the usual reproductive system works. It doesn't apply in my case, of course, because of my unique physiology, but I'm aware of how it works for most people.
yes. Well, I mean, the room sort of vibrates a little bit in a very soothing yet attractive kind of way.
Is that how it works in general, or specific to the nuclear reactor scenario?
I'm speaking about the reactor.
Ah, of course.
How I met your mom, and how we had you. It's just it's something where, frankly, it was exciting. It was daring. There's always something about the forbidden that's very exciting.
Yeah.
And all of the sort of vibrating senses in the room really just your mother and I couldn't resist. And frankly, we feel like it's given you certain advantages in life that you should be pleased about.
Really regretting that I have that 3rd and 4th ear with which to hear all of that I strongly, in the strongest possible terms, regret asking about.
Son, I mean, if you feel like you want to just hear normally, you can always use those earplugs that we got you, right? And
I appreciate all of the accommodations that you've given me to make me feel sometimes more like a normal person, or more like I can blend into society.
Yeah.
I get that. In my head, I get that. The second head is sometimes, a bit unsure.
But why? I mean, you could always wear some of the nice moves that we've gotten you that just hide your extra foot. It's vacation, nobody needs to know.
I am wearing the big poncho that you gave me. It just sort of covers my entire body, makes me look like sort of a fabric mound that no one can tell exactly what's under there.
Exactly. We just need to see the head that you want to show today.
Yeah. The head that I want to show. I'm very inspired by that, actually.
And scene. See, the thing about having concern for your fellow man is that it is a dying art. People these days just don't care about the people around them. And that's something that we need to do.
I was walking down the street one day and I saw a man. He was in the gutter. It was clear that he was in distress. I mean, he was gurgling. He was making this burbling sound like. And being the humanitarian that I am, I knelt down next to him and I checked. I said, "Are you okay, sir?" Which, was not repaid. With kindness. He just gurgled at me weirdly, and I thought, well, that's sort of rude. I'm asking you a question, sir. Are you all right? Do you need aid?
So, I I thought maybe he couldn't hear me, so I just shook him just a little bit. I just took him by the shoulders and gave him a little shake. At which point he actually, that gurgle turned into a spit. He spit on me, which I found really really offensive, frankly. And so I did hit him.
Yes, I did. I was remembering the advice that I had gotten as a child, which was, folks like that are just best kept away from. And I wish that I had listened. After I got punched in the face over it. Of course, the gurgling continued louder this time, and it was like words were coming out from the sounds. A little tough to follow, but I got something along the lines of asshole. I thought it might be directed at me.
And
in any event,
I thought it might be directed at me, and so I thought, well, he's clearly requesting a different sort of treatment from me. So, I turned him over and just started punching him right in the butt, one cheek then the other, sort of alternating because I wasn't sure which one he preferred. I do try to take the suggestions of my fellow humans into account when I'm trying to treat them right. I follow the golden rule: treat others as you would want to be treated. And I would want to be treated evenly.
Seems like a reasonable thing to do. You do that, but the thing about concern about your fellow man is that sometimes it's not fully reciprocated. Like, ow.
ow.
Oh,
Ow.
Ouch. Yes. I appreciate that. We've got an in-flight philosopher for this trip. It's kind of you to want to take down my words. I guess I'm just a little nervous. No one really knows how airplanes fly in the first place.
Well, let me ask you this. What does it mean to know something in the first place? Does knowledge constitute a justified true belief, or are there other ways of knowing, other means by which a relationship that involves truth with the world can be implanted into one's mind?
Oh God. I don't know. That's really smart.
sorry to disturb you guys. Would you like any coffee or tea? Coffee or tea?
I think I might need a cup of coffee after this. Thank you.
Sure you are.
What particular varieties of coffee and tea do you have? And do you believe that the infinite variation among coffee and tea is discrete, or is it more continuous? And what methods may one use to distinguish those two possibilities?
Well, that's an interesting question. I feel like if you associate a base reality with the meaning that we fully integrate all of our objects with intention, then, the coffee's got to be a concrete, distinct, and important sort of choice that's made actual by your very drinking of it and selection thereof.
Yeah, that's really making me feel a lot better.
Yeah, great. See you later. Have a good rest of your flight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I am glad for the service here in Premium Plus. I paid extra for the philosopher chair, so.
Yes, I have been working for Aristotle Airlines for years, and I always find that just a bit of existential confusion tends to take the edge off of most people's flying experience.
And scene.
Well, listen, I've seen all of your tapes, and I think that you would make a wonderful addition to our wrestling federation. But I'm just a little concerned that you're too mean. You're just a little too aggressive with your moves. That, quite frankly, someone could get hurt.
Oh dear. That's not what I expected to hear. I'm I try to be gentle
Oh,
and
I've noticed.
also violent at the same time.
Well, you see, it's just that. Well, the professional wrestling. You see, it's a show. It's a performance. It's an art form, and it's all about protecting the safety of the other performers. And quite frankly, I've not seen you protect and care about your other performers. That you've been doing quite well with the niceties and the politeness and all of that. It's just, well, you caused quite a few injuries.
Yes, indeed I have. I felt quite terrible about Sarah Jane and the hospital, but I know that she'll be coming out of that coma any day. And who knew that if you bash someone on the side of the head, that they could also go into coma? I did not know. I am sure to be much more careful in the future.
Well, and I appreciate that. And of course, I mean, we've signed you to a very lucrative contract, and you will be pushed as one of our lead performers. But I'm just worried that no one will want to face you in the ring when they're so worried that you put your own sister, your dear sister, into a coma. And now you said that she quite possibly will come out, but that's not a known quantity. And I mean, maybe that's the angle we play. Maybe that is that you are the most dangerous wrestler, and I think people would buy it.
I think you've hit on something very, very important. Because the truth is, my brand is very clear. Violence. Very, very kind violence, but violence. Real, absolute danger. Would you like to go into a coma? All right, I am the one. I am the one you should be visiting.
Well, I wouldn't like to go into a coma. I have a large wrestling company to run, so I wouldn't like to know. But of course, I would like you to say that on camera when it, for the show Saturday. I think that would be just
Wouldn't you
wonderful.
like to try it? Just try out what a coma's like? I mean, you don't really know, do you? It might be pleasurable. You might be in dreamland.
Oh, you're good, because you almost had me convinced to ask you to hit me upside the head with that giant cement ball, and what a gimmick, that giant cement ball.
I love my giant cement ball.
It is a delight.
Yes. So, you don't want to be hit by the giant cement ball?
I think I've made that quite clear, but your opponents, don't even bother asking them. That will be your angle. You can just hit them with the giant cement ball. We'll revolutionize the industry.
Colin, I love the way you think, and I think that we have a great future together.
You're going to hit me with the giant cement ball, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Yes.
And scene.
We've been dating a while, and I think it's time that I tell you that I had an unusual childhood.
That's okay. A lot of people have had odd childhoods. That's okay. I was an only child. It's kind of rare. Most people have siblings, I think.
It's more unusual than that. I was raised in a lab. I was grown in a beaker. I am a clone. No, I don't want you to start feeling sorry for me, like I wasn't loved or cared for, because in fact it was a wonderful, idyllic childhood. I had warmth and loving all around me.
It's weird because you know how you always suspect stuff, and I was like, Sarah has no belly button, and like that was always something I was like, that seems odd. That seems odd.
Giveaway, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it. Can I tell you, it was such a good childhood that now I'm poorly adjusted as an adult, because I keep waiting for the love and the support and the tenderness and the compassion for your fellow man to just start in the real world. And it's like nowhere,
Your wines, 1938 Chardonnay and Richard, I think the operational parameters are it's well inside operational parameters.
This is awkward.
Richard?
I'm not I know how you're saying that sometimes I'm not always good at listening, and you'll raise an issue and I overshadow it with mine, and that's not cool. Um,
Richard.
but I am actually a robot working within operational parameters. And I'm not from this planet or this time. I don't want to make it about me, though. I don't want to make it about the fact that I'm a time traveling android. I don't want to. You're a clone. That's something. That's something from this planet and time.
Now I feel like my belly button is like such an insignificant thing. It's like in the grand scale of space time, what does it mean that I lack a tube in which my mother might have fed me in utero? Doesn't mean anything, does it? I'll tell you what, I can drink this wine. I'd enjoy it.
That's true. That's my belly button. It's faux, right? I've got a titanium exoskeleton. Well, technically it's not from a mineral from this earth. It's just titanium's the closest.
You want to talk about something that I have been wanting to mention. You know how I'm always like, keep it to myself, don't want to say anything, even when it's like abundantly clear and overtly obvious that I probably should say something. I did notice something was up while we were being intimate. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to get lurid about it, but it was like, this doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem right. So you're a robot. That explains a lot. That explains a lot.
I feel like even if I wasn't a robot, like it makes sense that like in the middle of passionate lovemaking, it is an organic being might also say like, hey, like intermission, time to recharge. Like that's a thing.
Right. I did. Yeah. The thing is with being that I grew up around so many clones and not siblings, you know, well, I don't want to go into the mechanics of it, but it would be sometimes hard to know, you know, so anyway. So I'm just saying we're both people of abundant and inexhaustible energy supplies in a certain sense. And that's what makes us a great couple.
I don't want to take away your uniqueness. I do feel compelled to like, I am one of many robots. So I am technically also a clone, but like it's different. It's different.
Well, okay, fine. Well, I didn't want to have to say this, but like when they were creating me, they had to splice in the genomes of other creatures, other beings, because they couldn't perfectly clone a human the way that to have the capacities that I do. So I, in fact, am basically the human or the biological equivalent of a machine. I am hybridized and as patchwork as it gets.
Richard, a refill on your wine, sir, and
he doesn't need it. You can refill mine.
It is actually battery acid, ma'am. It's uses to recharge. I could tell you that the secret was up. The Plutonian ambassador is over there. Wants to give you a medal, Richard, for your salvation of the entire asteroid belt. I think you're very special, unique, and amazing. More amazing than anyone else he's ever met. Those were his exact words. So, whatever you can find your way over there, I'll leave you to do it.
And I was just about to tell you that I sold my first book.
And see, so like the thing about secrets is that they just seem to keep growing, like in the back of your mind the longer you keep them. They're like monsters somehow. Like they start off kind of small, like no big deal, and then like as they sit in the back and get like really dark and you know in the dark part of your mind, they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they grow until they get so big that it's like, how could I ever reveal this thing to somebody? Like they just wouldn't understand. Look, it's like Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, or it's like Godzilla over here. Like it's huge.
Huge like this. And do you think, you know, maybe it was just one day back in 1994 that I decided, hey, it might be cool to have two families, and it was fun for a while and everything was adventurous. I would jet back and forth on the weekends offering up excuses about how daddy's gonna go on a business trip, but it just got exhausting.
It's just tiring, you know, and it's people act like it's selfish, but really you've got to give twice as much of yourself, right? If you're not withholding. So it's a very, I'm not saying it's right, but it's certainly not a giving act. I mean, you put yourself out there to a lot of people, and even though it's exhausting, you've got to keep it going, because you don't want to. If it stops, it crashes hard. It crashes
Yeah, and
really
that's,
hard.
I mean, definitely crashes hard. That is just, we're the real heroes here. If I'm going to not put too fine a point on it, by, withholding information, keeping, like, where's our parade? That's what I want to know. Where's our medal?
I'm basically keeping state secrets up here. Everything that I do not disclose is a potential war somewhere else. You know what I mean? You have no idea, butterfly effect style, what could spawn out of the information that you're retaining in your cranium. It's valuable stuff in here, is all I can say.
So secrets really are very important, and that's the thing about secrets.
Thing about it.
So we'd like to welcome you aboard your new relationship. We're very excited about that. We just have a few things we want to give you as some warnings to keep in mind for your relationship. As you know, you're a privileged member to be in a relationship. Many people would wish they're in a relationship, and most relationships have a significant amount of happiness with them. So congratulations.
You've made a choice to go on this journey through life with another being, and that's not only brave, it's commendable. But it's not without its risks.
It's not. It wouldn't be commendable if there wasn't also great peril. No one says, hey, look at you walking across the sidewalk. But when you walk across a thin rope that is poorly secured and frayed in places you don't know, that's commendable, like entering a relationship.
Thank you for this advice. I know that even though my great heroic deeds in the past as the robot leader of the Robot Earth Defense Force have been broadly, spread across the world, I have never experienced love before. So thank you for being my relationship attendant counselors.
Easy, Tiger. You're talking about love. We need to talk about gut-wrenching heartbreak and what it feels like when everything you feel like this matters is suddenly ripped from you.
And we understand that you don't have a heart in the traditional sense, but you've been programmed to feel human emotions. And let me tell you, friend, there is no greater pain than the sorrow of lost love. And that is a very real thing. You see, all relationships end.
I am aware.
You can sort of think of it like as you go up in happiness, it goes up and up and up. But then there's a sort of relational gravity that brings in, just with the myriad of things that can go wrong in a relationship, or ultimately mortality, if not for you, then with your partner. It's just constantly pulling down.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I offer any of you some battery acid?
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, yes.
Hello, counselors, tell me if this is correct. I think I love you.
That does not compute.
Is this too forward?
Too forward.
Wasn't even so much loss as it was just awkwardness. Just
slow your roll.
Yeah, dude.
I am updating the protocols.
I mean, there's being thirsty and then there's being thirsty.
Right. It's two different things.
Two different things, dude.
Yeah.
I see.
That's not even your girlfriend.
And it's not gonna be. She's not gonna be.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
I understand. I see that much as being high up off the ground gives you much potential energy, which can be turned into kinetic energy, which destroys you at the bottom of a fall. Having lots of emotions gives you much emotional potential energy, which can tear your emotional circuits asunder.
Yeah, I mean, that's all true. And we wanted to do that. But like, first, don't be weird, man. Like, don't be weird.
Yeah. Like that's a big thing. It's like, don't be weird.
Don't
I
be
have
weird.
spent most of my time fighting off alien invasions. I have never learned to not be weird. Weird is basically the only thing I can be.
Oh, hello, my robot lover. It's so nice to see you.
Hello, I have been learning about love.
Yes, I know. I know, darling. I'm very, very happy to see you here, darling. And and your compadres in love crime, is that right?
She's gonna hit you with that cement ball.
It's definitely going to be hit you with that cement ball.
Yeah.
All right, let's just do it. Oh, it's so satisfying.
So I was hoping I could just return my beating. I got it as a gift. It was nice and
Oh,
everything.
you think that you're some kind of big deal just because you got beat? I'm a clone, for the love of, I'm a clone. I'm more important. I'm sorry, not to make it about me. It does look like you got beaten pretty hard. I guess I could give you like $5
All right, look, fine.
and a signed copy of my book, Me and Mine and Me and Me Again.
Yeah, you know what? I guess I guess that's good enough. You know, I mean,
Good enough. This is Oprah's book club stuff. Not quite yet, but it's I've gotten very bitter. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should. Have you ever like kept like the hurt and the pain that a certain robot ex-boyfriend caused you like in your head for so long that it festers and it just becomes this like gross pus that changes your whole personality until you're an unlikable, like vituperative little spitball person? That's me now. That's who I am.
Look, I usually find it's best when you just let that out. You know, look, I mean, I've got one good. Why don't you just take a shot? You know, I mean, I'm already a mess. Take a shot. It'll make you feel better.
Okay.
Just I'm right here.
I'm going to hit you across the left eyeball, exactly where you've already been hit, for maximum impact.
All right. All right. Whoa. See, now, does that feel better?
That felt great.
Right. Exactly. There's no reason to like hold all that in, you know? I mean, here, like, look, how about this? Just try another one.
I'm not even gonna ask for permission.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, I get it. Like, I gave you permission. It's good. It's cool.
This is bad. This is not right. We are bad. I am so confused. Everything I've ever known from my childhood said love and togetherness and holding each other and caring for your fellow man. And now more and more the lesson is punch somebody in the sprocket and hope that it makes you feel good.
Look, sometimes you just have to let it out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have to let it out.
Now, hopefully from now on, maybe I'll try and do it via song.
Just don't be afraid to throw hands every once in a while.
Fair enough.
So the thing about taking risks is it's frightening and you know it might end up bad, but you do it anyway. And that's just what it is in life. And you hope it's going to work out for the best. You do it on faith.
The thing about politeness is that it's oftentimes just masking deep anger and rage.
The thing about deep anger and rage is I feel it all the time. It's everybody's got it in them.
The thing about violence is it's actually a very, very bad idea.
I think the thing about violence is we all have it like here capable within us, and to deny that sort of denies like a essential part of who we are as people.
The thing about giving people what they asked for instead of what you think they want is that sometimes your perception of what they want is misguided. You think they want a swift kick to the the face, and it turns out they actually wanted a mug of hot chocolate. And there's no way that you can ascertain that information unless you just learn to communicate and ask people what they want.
And the thing about that swift kick is that's the thing about heal. It's our suggestion. Thank you very much, everybody.
Look at that.
Oh, so
Look at that. Boom.
Thanks for tuning in. And please keep going for more No Pants Show. Does anyone know when our next show is?
Sunday?
Sunday, we should probably.
Tomorrow we have Star Trek.
Tomorrow, Star Trek.
Oh my
Tomorrow,
gosh.
Star Trek.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Andy, for joining us. And
having
I'm
me.
going to stop the podcast or the podcast. We're also a podcast that we're definitely too. So, and bye, everybody.